It's interesting because I was finishing Rio 1, actually, when I started to think about doing Ferdinand. And so this has been like 7 years back. So it's not like, because animation takes a long time, a project like this, like just in production takes 4 years. So when I was approached with the book, I knew about the book already, and I thought it was a good challenge, because I love the character and I know the possibilities of exploring the message, that message about like non-conform to what they ask you to do, but just be yourself, so don't judge it by how you look on the outside, but be true to what you are on the inside. So I thought it was so powerful that allowed me to just kind of like think about elements of the movie that I wanted to tell. And it happens that even when I started, it was relevant, but now, more than ever, it seems to be even more relevant about, tolerance, being able to stand up for what you believe, all those things are, very alive right now. It's interesting because when one of the challenges of the book was like, because it's a story of a bull that doesn't want to fight, and you have bullfighting as an element, was always tricky to try to, how am I going to tell that story? And I decided that it's from the point of view of the bull. So, if Ferdinand doesn't want to fight, so that's going to be the journey. That's going to be the story. And bullfight is an element of it, but the true journey is more about his inner struggle to be accepted or to be seen for who he truly is. And the way that he does it, which for me is the most powerful way, is by not fighting. And I think that that's the power of the story. Like, you do it through example, not so much by force. I think the Austrian might get a kick out of the movie because they're fun characters, because every time when we created these characters, like, the Lipizaners are originally from Andalusia as well. Like, they have the dancing horses, and they are so regal and so perfect and so beautiful, that contrast nice with the bulls. So I think that they will hopefully they will enjoy that, seeing those horses in the story. Yeah, I think the story is about, like, it's not that I'm trying, I'm not imposing a message, I'm telling a story, and then I think people interpret any way they want, and I think that's the beauty of the movie, and that's the beauty of the book. When people read the book, like, the book was not telling, like, oh, this is what I'm telling you, like, but people took as different, stories. Like, there are people that thought that the book was about pacifism. Some people that took the book as a statement against bullfighting. Some people took the book as a personal struggle that, people don't see me who I really am on the inside. So all these layers were there, but, but not physically explained in the book, but just more how people felt. And that's what I wanted to do when people watch the movie. I want them to experience the story and feel something, feel compassion or feel understanding for Ferdinand, falling in love with him, reflecting a little bit about, like, the use of violence, reflecting a little bit about how to deal with those situations, So it's more, for me, it's more about a reflection on what they interpret than it is me telling them how they should feel. Depends on the story. Like, the characters that are making the movie, depending on the context of the story. In this one, it was a little bit like a world of the humans and the world of the animals and the contrast of the clash between the two. So I had to create, like, a matador because I needed him to be at the end with Ferdinand. So in the book was only about Ferdinand pretty much all the way through it. It had a matador as well, but the core story was Ferdinand, and so I did that with this. But in order to expand it into a movie, I had to add new characters. I had to add, other elements to the story, other friends and enemies and things like that to the whole story. And that's a fun process. And I'm depending on the project, I'm open to do, human characters. Like, it's fun as well. Like, I had a lot of great time, like, getting to create, like, El Primero, the big matador, the same way I did by creating some of the goats and other bulls in the story. So I love both. It's just the story that drives the character designs, the character creation, I would say. In this case, happens to be like this kind of mixture of the two. We don't talk about Tres now. Tres is like a secret. Like a little mystery. It's a mystery. It's like there's a mystery in this movie. It's about where did Tres go? What happened to Tres? We tried to... the book was black and white. There was like line drawings. So it was very simple and then wouldn't translate to a big 3D movie like with colors and all that. So we had to create the look of the movie. And when I started, one of the reasons why I started this project, the family, the owners of the book, the family from the writer says like, as long as you keep the message right, you can create the world you want to create, So the story is there to be told. And so I had the freedom to create the world, and I love to explore the idea of creating a look that felt classic. Like I want the colors to feel right, I want the world to feel right, and I wanted people to watch this movie in different times and then still feel like connected to that story. So we worked a lot on the palette. If you notice, my previous movie, Rio, was all about the tropical colors and the primary colors. The colors were like popping out there. So the world of Rio, like I played with color with, its primary colors. I had like strong primary colors, so it was tropical and all that. And this one I wanted to be more, warm. I wanted to feel like capture the shades of Spain, which is earth tones and warmth and the oranges, the reds, contrasting with the greens and the blues. And I think that's what inspired us. Spain was a huge influence, like with the white walls of the villages, with a bustling like Madrid with the architecture. So the art direction was very important, just to really convey this classic feel of the story. That's a great question. Like, it's a mystery, like Tres. Yeah, this is something that we decided not to go into that. We had options when we were developing, but it became too plotty, and then it felt to me like, do I go for plot or do I go for emotion? It felt more emotional if she just knew it right away, and then she embraced it. So we decided to go that route. Oops, but that's the core, like go for the emotion.